In the initial scene, a flashback shows two hobbits, Smeagol, Andy Serkis, and his companion Deagol, Thomas Robbins, are fishing the waterway Anduin close to the Encourage Fields in the north of Center-Earth. Deagol is hauled into the stream by a strong catch and finds the one ring glimmering in the waterway bed. He gathers it and moves out of the water. Smeagol sees him caressing it, and as the two of them capitulate to the ring's power, they start to fight. Smeagol requests the ring, saying that it's his birthday and it ought to be his present. The quarrel transforms into a battle. Smeagol chokes his companion with his uncovered hands and pries the ring from Deagol's held clenched hand. Smeagol is segregated from his local area and driven away. Experiencing horrendously dejection and disgrace, Smeagol takes comfort in his adoration for the ring, which gradually torments his brain. He takes singular shelter in caves underneath the mountains, where affected by the ring he resides to an exceptionally extraordinary age. He wanes into a slouched, stealthy, lurking animal known by the horrendous clamor he makes in his throat, Gollum. In the present, on the edges of Mordor, Frodo, Elijah Wood, and Sam, Sean Astin, are resting in a nook. Sam rises and sees that his lord has not dozed. The days are developing hazier the nearer they get to Minas Morgul and Mordor. Gollum shows up and urges them to continue on. Away in the west, Aragorn, Viggo Mortensen, Legolas, Orlando Blossom, Gimli, John Rhys-Davies, Gandalf, Ian McKellen, Theoden, Bernard Slope, and Eomer, Carl Metropolitan, ride through the timberland of Fangorn to Isengard, where they meet Joyful, Dominic Monaghan, and Pippin, Billy Boyd, devouring among the destruction. They track down Treebeard at the pinnacle of Orthanc in the focal point of Isengard, where Saruman, Christopher Lee, has been caught. Gandalf goes against Gimli's call to kill Saruman, saying that the wizard has no power any longer and will represent no further danger. Saruman shows himself to them. Gandalf breaks Saruman's staff, denying him of his power. Grima, Brad Dourif, who is still with him, wounds him with a blade. Legolas shoots Grima with a bolt, yet Saruman tumbles to his demise, arrival on the spikes of a huge water wheel. As they are talking, Pippin sees Saruman's palantir among the junk and is enchanted by it, yet Gandalf rapidly takes it from him and conceals it under his shroud. The gathering rides to Edoras, where Lord Theoden has arranged an enormous feast to hail the triumphant dead of the skirmish of the Hornburg. There Eowyn, Miranda Otto, shows fondness for Aragorn, which Theoden sees. He tells her that he is glad for her, Aragorn being a fair man and the draftsman of the triumph at Rutter's Profound. Gandalf communicates to Aragorn his interests over the mission. Aragorn advises him to confide in everything his heart says to him, that Frodo is as yet alive. Gollum gets up in the night as Frodo and Sam are resting and heads out aside to mumble to himself. His malicious half detects a few uncertainty in Smeagol and demands that on the off chance that he can kill once, like he killed Deagol for the ring, he can rehash it. Gollum then starts driving Smeagol through their arrangement, to convey the hobbits into the grasp of Shelob in Cirith Ungol, after which the ring can be recovered. Sam hears the discussion and beats Gollum for his injustice. Frodo mediates, expressing that as their aid Gollum is vital for their mission. Sam frowns as Gollum streaks him an insidious grin while Frodo's back is turned. That very evening back in Edoras, Pippin's interest gets the better of him, easing a dozing Gandalf of the Palantir. He investigates it. Pippin sees a dream of a white tree in a stoneyard set on fire, yet in doing so he is gotten by Sauron and submitted to mental torment and a dressing. Aragorn attempts to save him, momentarily presenting himself to Sauron. Pippin recuperates from his trial and it is found that he didn't tell Sauron anything of the ring's whereabouts. From Pippin's vision of the white tree, Gandalf derives that Sauron is presently moving to go after the incomparable Gondorian city of Minas Tirith, and he heads out to send advance notice, taking Pippin with him, in case his desire to investigate the Palantir, left currently in Aragorn's keeping, get back once more. Passing on Rivendell while heading to the Undying Terrains, Arwen, Liv Tyler, has a dream of Eldarion, Sadwyn Brophy, the child she will have with Aragorn. She understands that her dad misled her when he said she and Aragorn had no future together. She gets back to Rivendell and persuades Elrond, Hugo winding around, that having neglected the existence of the Eldar, she can't leave Aragorn now. She lets her dad know that, as predicted, an opportunity to reforge Narsil has come. Narsil, the sword of Elendil, is the inheritance of the genuine beneficiary of Isildur, the one who utilized the sword to cut the One Ring from Sauron's hand. Gandalf and Pippin show up at Minas Tirith, city of rulers, that was worked out of the stone of Mindalluin. There Pippin perceives the white tree as they go to track down the steward Denethor, John Honorable. They approach him as he grieves over Boromir, Sean Bean, his child. Pippin swears steadfastness to him in reward for Boromir's penance. Denethor is by all accounts made up for lost time in his misery and has not gone to lengths to sustain the city against the danger of Sauron. In the meantime, Frodo, Sam, and Gollum show up at Minas Morgul. Careful about the adversary, they find the winding step, prompting the pass of Cirith Ungol, that falsehoods concealed in the bluffs encompassing the damned city. Right at that point, the entryways of the city open and the witch ruler of Angmar, head of the Nazgul, dispatches his gigantic orc armed force from his refuge, proclaiming the beginning of the conflict. The incredible overflow of the military is seen by Gandalf and Pippin as a glimmer of lightning takes shots up at the kickoff of the entryways. At the asking of Gandalf, Pippin lights the first of the reference point signs to Edoras, cautioning Theoden, Aragorn and the remainder of the Rohirrim to marshal at Dunharrow and thus to Minas Tirith. As they leave Edoras, Aragorn sees that Eowyn saddles up with them and that she is girt with a blade, yet she demands that she rides just to see them off and that the men have tracked down their skipper in Aragorn. The Morgul armed force crosses Anduin at Osgiliath in improvised boats and draws in the Gondorian contingent, led by Boromir's sibling Faramir, David Wenham, in fight. The orcs demonstrate serious areas of strength for excessively drive the Gondorians out of Osgiliath. Faramir and his couple of enduring men retreat to Minas Tirith, sought after by the Nazgul. Gandalf, braving to meet the withdrawing men, wards them off, saving Faramir. Upon his appearance, Faramir, who met Frodo, Sam, and Gollum in Ithilien not long before they set out toward the mountain pass into Mordor, tells Gandalf of the perilous course Gollum is taking Frodo and Sam on, persuading Gandalf of Gollum's bad form. The hobbits, led by Gollum, are battling to climb the very steep steps. Gollum connects and identifies with Frodo, saying that he grasps his aggravation. Gollum likewise harms Frodo against Sam, saying that Sam will attempt to take the ring from Frodo. In the caught Osgiliath, the witch ruler arranges his commander to send forward all armies and demolish the number of inhabitants in Minas Tirith, saying that he personally will break the wizard Gandalf. Denethor, poorly satisfied by Faramir's bombed protection of Osgiliath, maneuvers him toward taking a bound ride to recover the city. Gollum keeps on playing the hobbits against one another, this time by faulting Sam for eating their food arrangements. Frodo, in his tricked state, is dubious of Sam and orders him back home while Sam, attempting to be useful, offers to convey the ring, subsequently satisfying Gollum's craftiness forecast. Faramir rides headlong into the bolts of the state orcs as Pippin sings for Denethor, who nonchalantly eats his early afternoon dinner. Faramir's assault falls flat and Faramir is hauled back by his pony in a passing-like trance state. At the wapentake at Dunharrow, a hooded figure gradually rides on a white pony along the twisting street to the place to stay in the slopes. The figure uncovers himself to Aragorn as Elrond. He gives Aragorn his inheritance, the recently reforged sword Narsil, presently named Andúril, Fire of the West. He encourages Aragorn to utilize this sword to review the dead men of Dunharrow and utilize their loyalty to the successor to Isildur, for example Aragorn, to stop the assault of the Corsairs' boats, which are as of now cruising from the south.